The Game of Thrones,
It was marvelous.
Cheers.
Yeah, the new
Cheers.
edition.
We didn't pick a word of the night, but
And
we're
That's
cheering
okay.
enough, though.
One thing I also have to mention
A little break with tradition.
is that the very first time that we did the radio show, which this spawned from the radio show, the very first radio show we did was at the porch, and I sent you a message on Facebook, and I said, would it be okay if we did it there? And it went really well. The only problem was that the guys up in
Cleveland.
where the radio show was, he wrote me back. He said, it was a really great show. We really liked it a lot. He said, but, it was just too much background noise because it was in a bar, naturally. So he said, there's just too much background noise.
And it was open.
And it was open, yeah. There was people there.
So,
There was it was the porch, and we were in that big booth. But it was just, for them, it was just too much outside noise. And I mentioned it to Dave. He said, well, why don't we do it here at the Cork and Stogie? If you want, you can do it here and there, after we close. So that works. But the whole point of this is that this whole show is ever so slightly indirectly was spawned
born
at
from
the
the
porch.
porch.
Yeah.
Well, and this specific show that we're doing here is not the same show you were doing
Right,
there.
but that's why I say
that was,
indirectly.
Yeah, that was a once a month, and then this show
Because we started
spawned off of that.
I'm going to say it was probably spring of 2013 that we started doing that, and then by September, when they had the beer festival here, you and I were talking about doing something like we're doing now, and then the opportunity came in.
Isn't it crazy in 4 or 5 years? 5 years, how much this town has changed. I mean, it's pretty. From a sleepy island town of Bud Light and Corona and rum runners to there are a lot of good beer and wine places, man.
Here.
Here.
Cheers to that.
Thank you for listening to Key West Beer Tales, the sum of all beers, sponsored by the Cork and Stogie, 1218 Duval Street in sunny Key West, Florida. Follow our page on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter at the KWBT. We are also on Instagram and Untapped. Listen to our previous shows on Spreaker.com, and please email your comments to keywestbeertales@gmail.com. Cheers and beers.
I'm hungry. Let's go get something to drink.